Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Bombermonth. Most of you would know the PC engine as the TurboGrafx 16. While at first coming out when 8-bit was still in, the PC engine was soon overpowered by the SNES and the Sega Genesis, two far more popular consoles. And let me tell you, they tried. Oh, how they tried. But the funny thing is that the PC Engine was way more popular in Japan. And since Hudson Soft made it, you know where I'm going with this. I've got three games to go, so let's not waste any time. Starting off with the one simply called Bomberman. Man, that's definitely not gonna leave a lot of confusion.
The story involves Dr. Mitsumori, two robots, White Bomber and Black Bomber. However, since Black Bomber suffered a programming error that Dr. Mitsumori not only didn't check, but somehow missed, Black Bomber is now much of a power-hungry maniac. And so he kidnaps the doctor's daughter and escapes to an intimidating castle. Which means White Barber's journey begins. But one has to wonder, what was the doctor's mind process?
Alright, and done. Whew. Whew. Black Bubba is now complete. Shouldn't you be checking if there are any programming bugs or errors that can potentially turn them evil and, well, I don't know, kidnap me? Nah, I think you're overreacting. Anyway, leave me be. Fast Food Friday is on the way. So, better good luck.
The game is traditional in how you need to defeat all the enemies and then exit. Except there's one difference that sets it apart. You need to find the exit.
Wow.
Not only is this a hassle, but it is especially a hassle when it's the last thing you need to do. Thankfully, you don't die in time up, but enemies spawn in, making the process even more frustrating. Sometimes I just end up finding them by complete accident.
Huh?
I also don't like how some of the later levels insist on being bigger vertically, making it even more of a pain.
Right, but there are things I liked about this.
The addition of a world map is cool even if you don't do much in it. The graphics were first time 16-bit, for Bomberman at least, is really colorful and charming. The bosses ain't half bad either. Like, take a look at the snake dude, for example. It's all about timing, and I like that a lot. And the music is pretty sweet.
But overall, this is but a dip as to what they could do with the PC engine. AKA, while I liked it, it is definitely rough around the edges. But what about Bomberman 93? Will that improve over the first? Well, there's only one way to find out. This is Bomberman 93.
After stopping him last time and destroying his castle, whew, I know he stole someone, but did he really deserve his castle to be destroyed? Seems a tad bit too far. Well, anyway, Black Bomber sets out for galactic terrorism. Oh, and I see why his castle got destroyed. As him and a bunch of buddies none of which resemble the one from GB, steal the program chips from the pan-galactic mother computer, and they scatter them all around 6 planets. Oi, what a mess. Already the graphics have been touched up to look more refined. The goals and structure are mostly the same, but they got rid of the huge verticality.
Thank you!
They're still there kinda, but not as much thankfully. You still need to find the exit though, which is a pain. But at least it's less of a pain.
Although I should definitely talk about the bosses.
To put it simply, they are more of what I already enjoyed in the previous game. But what sets these apart from last time are the design. Each of these guys' design are far more fitting with the cutesy look the series used to have before it became more refined. And in '93, they really cooked up the music to be even better.
So in conclusion, Bomberman 93 is definitely an improvement over the previous game, which means finally we are at the last game, which only came out in Japan. Lucky. Bomberman 94. Woo.
Planet Bomber with a different design was protected by 5 spirit pictures when suddenly Bagua, who appears for the very first time here, sent his army of robots to destroy the spirit power, which splits Planet Bomber into 5 whole chunks. The graphics have been revamped along with the animations, which results in an overall better looking game, even if it's obvious the bomb is a different tile.
Oops.
Other details can also be appreciated, like how during gameplay the HUD bumper is all peppy and cheerful, but as soon as the pauses hit, so does exhaustion. In this game, you don't have to kill every enemy. Instead, you just need to destroy the core mechanisms and then go to the capsule. Some core are on the ground while some are on top of enemies, but depending on how many soft blocks left when reaching the capsule, they turn into coin and you need to collect them all before time runs out. For the first time ever, Louis are introduced in this game. Shut up! And in total there are 5. Green can dash, blue can kick bombs, yellow can kick soft blocks, purple can jump, and pink can dance.
Wait, that's it?
Well, yeah. Oh, come on, don't be like that. Look. He is adorable.
Okay, fine. But he's still kind of pointless.
So how about them buses, huh?
Well, honestly, I can say that they are the best of both Bomberman PC Engine and Bomberman 93. They require strategy just like in Bomberman, but they also have the same cutesy design like in 93, only modernized. An example would be the first boss. Again, this monkey that controls the robot. It's weird, but it's fun figuring out who the weakness was.
Monkey.
But Louis sacrifice don't get me. No, why?
Bomberman 94 to me is what people say Shattered Bomberman is. Not only is this the best game of the franchise, but it is the best just to introduce to a newcomer. To me, Bomberman 94 is the one that truly deserves being called the best, and not just because Watch Mojo said it, and now everybody says it. Shattered Bomberman. Later on, a port to the Sega Genesis released in the US and Europe, titled Mega Bomberman, which only makes sense for Europe. Couldn't they make it Genesis Bomberman for the US release?
Well, anyway, to put it simply, this port suffers a lot from weaker hardware, whether it be loss of detail, loss of color, loss of animation, or even making the music sound more grating and twangy.
It's good on its own, but compared to 94, it's no competition. And then years later in 2008, Bomberman 94 was remade as Bomberman 08.
Well, it's Bomberman 94 on a smaller screen. The graphics have been redone, which is nice, but the game is so much choppier. I don't get why they did this on phones. Couldn't this have been done for the Wii, PS3, or even Xbox 360? This was 2008. This version doesn't even have the intro explaining the story, so those who grew up with this will have no idea why White Bomber is doing any of this. That is, if they hadn't played 94 Mega already. This version even butchers the ending, and it looks so cheap. There's a reason this is obscure. Heck, I had a better time with Mega, and that's already butchered as is.
But man, was it finally worth seeing what these games were all about? Especially 94. That was the one that eluded me the most. But this was Joseph from Joseph's World, and I'll see you guys next time.